Stoicism is the endurance of pain without the display of feelings or complaint. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in the world, a Roman emperor who is renowned as one of the best leaders in history, how his mentalities have completely shaped my business and let me grow a massive business in only 18 months, and how his teachings can completely change everything for you. Stay tuned. Alright, what is up guys? Welcome to another exciting video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how the idea of perception versus reality really was one of the best things I've ever learned from anyone. And I read a lot of books. I read a lot about like different leaders and entrepreneurs throughout history. The idea of perception versus reality is probably one of the single biggest ideas that I attribute to my success, building, a very large company in the past 18 months. And I'm going to be teaching you the best ways that you can start to utilize and understand this in your own business. One of the important takeaways you kind of get from Marcus Aurelius is he was kind of at the apex. He was the most powerful person in the world during his time. He was a Roman emperor, right, for years, but still every single night he would meditate on the fact that he needed to be more generous, more empathetic, more caring, more humble, right? And this is the most powerful person in the world. So if he's doing it, right, there's no reason why I shouldn't be doing it, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing it. Because the thing is, if you focus on being grateful and being generous and being empathetic rather than being angry and being sad and being full of hate, right, your life is instantly going to get better. But it's a daily thing. Even the most powerful person in the world, throughout history, one of the best leaders, every single night had to practice, this spiritual meditation where he would focus on generosity, being empathetic and being grateful. He was also the first person that introduced me to the idea of perception versus reality. I'm going to give, a modern day example that really makes this make a lot of sense, right? So if somebody cuts you off on the freeway while you're driving, along on the freeway, it's a natural human response to be angry. But Marcus Aurelius practiced something called Stoicism, right? Stoicism basically means that you're not affected by these things. And so perception versus reality, the best way I could explain it basically means that somebody cutting you off on the freeway is not inherently, right, at the base level, it's not an evil act. Literally all it is you perceiving, right? Your perception makes you angry and you get sad or you get upset about this thing. And some people are going to let that bother them for the rest of the day or week, or they'll remember it forever, right? But what Marcus Aurelius taught me and has taught, thousands of others through his book, the Meditations, which is kind of an amazing book and kind of a summary of his life and his learnings and teachings, being one of the most powerful, emperors in the world, is that you can't let things affect you. Right? Stoicism basically means you absorb and take in the world as it is, and don't let these external things like somebody cutting you off and things you can't control actually upset you and give you a negative emotional response. Because think about it like this. All forms of life, except for human beings, strive for their maximum potential, right? Human beings have the choice of whether or not they're going to sit in a chair, in their couch, eating Cheetos, watching Netflix all day, while another person, the same species, right, is gonna go out there, be productive, create a massive business or a huge impact, or live a happy, healthy, fulfilling life, traveling the world, or finding love, right? Two different people, right? Both of the same species. One can completely be, sedentary, and one can be completely productive and go out and actually kind of tackle the world and take on everything and grow and evolve and become truly great. And the reason for that usually comes from our childhood, where we get, shut down, or we don't get the confidence or love, or care that we need, which kind of gives us that mentality that we can't actually go and do the things that we want, right? But Stoicism changes all of that. Stoicism is important because it allows you to gain absolute control over yourself and your mind. And the people who go on to live massively successful lives are the ones who actually tackle and totally control their mindset, right? People have this idea that if you have the tactics or the tricks or the strategies that you can go on and be the most successful. But really what it is your mentality. Because most people, can't wake up early, or they can't be consistently productive, or, they can't go out and meet people because of social anxiety. So when you tackle and actually master your mentality, mentality and your mindset through Stoicism that allows you to actually go out and live your best life. And breaking Stoicism down into the most basic 3 elements, what Stoicism more or less represents is mastering your emotions. Number 1 is freedom from your emotions. Number 2 is a state of tranquility when your emotions become overwhelming. And number 3 is your ability to always maintain your inner freedom regardless of your environment. So imagine how powerful you'd be if you had total control over your emotions. And this doesn't mean that you just don't care about anything. It means that you don't let anger or sadness affect you in a negative way. Because when you control your emotions, you have discipline, and through discipline comes freedom. And when you apply these disciplines to entrepreneurship, it works even better, right? Because when you control your emotions, then you can literally roll with the punches and not let things affect you. You just make logical decisions by taking in all of the information and not letting your emotions actually dictate your actions. Because mindset is hard, right? Getting up early consistently, taking that cold shower to wake yourself up, writing out your goals, exercising, eating healthy, all of these things that it takes to be in the top 1%, right? That stuff is hard. Mindset is hard, but that's why it really differentiates the people who are truly next level successful from everyone else. Following this philosophy has allowed me to live a life free of stress, or at least controlling that stress. Because when you allow everything, all these external factors that you can't control to dictate your happiness or how you feel or your stress levels, right? That is a recipe born for disaster. And Stoicism is just one thing that I've really learned. If you want to learn more, check out this video right here, the 5 things that I wish I knew in my 20s. This video will completely change your life. So check out this video, guys. Happy hustling, and we'll see you on the next one. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 things that I wish I would have known in my early 20s that would have, expedited my path to success and made it much faster and easier just by knowing these 5